machines.
X-Men.
I'm evil. Can you figure that out yet?
They look so bored.
I guess we'll do shit.
Hey, your right bicep's looking a little weird there,
See,
Wolverine.
now I see that, and I just...
They were drawing the back of his arm.
Douche squad away.
Welcome to Let's Play X-Men on the arcade in 1992.
1992. Yep, it's copyright.
1992 arcade game.
Welcome to 1992. Die.
So I don't actually know a lot about X-Men. Like, I know very little about the Marvel Universe, even less about the X-Men. But you're the one who wanted to play this game. Why was it you wanted to play this?
It was always kind of an arcade staple. Surprisingly, I think it was... I might have remembered there being only a 4-player one at their local movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a 6-player one where you could do up to 6 characters.
Yeah, I think there's also a 2-player one.
That might be like a home console thing.
Maybe.
But it always kind of looked interesting, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it was the 90s and the X-Men were hot shit because they were just on the verge of their cartoon and everything. And
Which, funny note about that one,
this is actually based off of the unaired pilot of Pride of the X-Men, which is a 1989 pilot that was meant to get the X-Men going as a cartoon franchise that didn't pick up.
so we're in some weird canon that's not canon, that involves characters that later had things done with them for things,
X-Men.
but not here?
Trust me, if we are going to talk seriously about comic canon, this will be the longest series you will ever have
We're
on your thing.
gonna be here for a while.
Because you could spend literal days on just Wolverine, or Scott Summers, Cyclops, or Colossus, and all that stuff, and Storm, and Nightcrawler, and oh my god, that's just a fraction of the team throughout the history.
And we're gonna spend the next probably 2 videos being very confused
Listen,
about X-Men.
there's only so much stuff I can get from like watching various online sources and looking up on TV tropes and Wikipedias and other like Marvel specific Wikipedias that I can pick up and everything. Listen, I'm still working out on the fact that somehow in the comic book version of the Transformers, Starscream was Cybertron's greatest single leader who didn't start shit with everything and actually led a peaceful movement throughout it. Scream was one of Cybertron's greatest leaders because he didn't start a 4 million year plus civil war, nor was he in charge of an oppressive regime. And that's just Transformers recently. This is Marvel. This is X-Men who's been going through since the 60s.
Hold up, I'm still...
Yes,
my brain...
Star-
Hold up. My brain is still stopping at the Starscream thing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play some X-Men before that one weighs on me too much.
I've been on that shit for 2 days.
Alright, so there are 6 playable characters: Cyclops, Colossus, Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Dazzler, which 5 of them I actually kind of recognized early on. But I had no friggin' idea who Dazzler was, so I actually had to look her up on the wiki to even know what the crap was going on with that.
In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aim to destroy the world. Humans can do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men.
I don't know how Magneto somehow got control of the Sentinels, because that either means he defeated Master Mold,
Go
or
and save the city.
he's magnetically controlling them, which wouldn't work because they're robots and his magnetism would actually destroy them. But again, comic books, there's a certain point of like, you have to take it, or you can't believe a man can fly.
So the controls in this game are pretty simple. There's one button that punches, sometimes it kicks, sometimes it throws guys.
Don't ask us, we don't know.
It seems to just pick pick whatever it feels like doing at the moment. There's also a jump button where you can do that. You can also attack in the air. You can also shoot laser beams from your eyes.
It's your desperation attack. It's different for every mutant,
Takes a little bit of life to use.
as you can tell because I went.
You can attack while you're in there, and if you attack very quickly after you jump, you do this. Which is the best attack, even though it can't hit anybody.
Considering the fact you take your shadow with you.
My shadow is very confused about where I am. Oh no, I got hit by a rock when I punched the guy who's holding the rock. How did I not see this coming? So we have a lot of money to put into this thing. So we're gonna be not really holding back on the...
I just keep putting quarters in your computer and nothing's working. Should I put my drink into this drink tray here? Wait, does your computer even have a CD tray?
Oh, this is hard work. I'll take a tab.
Where's the any key?
Oh, no time for a drink now. The computer's starting. Oh, crap. Oh no, I died. So they don't let you kill yourself with your special, and if you go below like 4 life or whatever,
It's
they just...
if you're at 3 life, you don't get to use it.
Yeah.
Unless you have one of those special attack orbs.
Yeah, if you have one of the little orbs, then even if you're out of life, they let you use your special anyway at the expense of one of your orbs.
Also, this game is hilarious because if you knock an opponent down on the ground, you can keep beating them up.
Hey, I didn't get hit by it this time.
will turn you to toast.
No, he overrode my ward with his.
Hey, get back here and let me punch you. I'm all out of laser, so I have to use my fist.
So you're either gonna have to do 3 points of damage to him or 2 to me, and then we can warp and laser you to death. Well, technically you don't have lasers, you have concussive blast.
Okay, so I don't know anything about X-Men. Or at least decidedly little. Who's this guy we're beating up?
Pyro. He's one of the premier characters of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, from what I understand. Basically, he just has fire powers.
All right.
I'm pretty sure there's more to it, but yeah, he has pyro powers, pyrotechnic powers. He's also kind of your bog standard. How can I say this? He's one of the Goldfish Poop Gang characters who just shows up to get beaten up, and then the serious threat shows up.
All right.
Which is weird because I think I trail off on the Sentinels. The fact that the Sentinels are somehow working for Magneto, despite the fact that the Sentinels should be attempting to destroy Magneto, which wouldn't work too well because they're metal and all that crap.
Oh, so pay attention to the floor here. You see we just lowered down like we're on some kind of lift? So if we keep going to the left, there's no edge for the lift. So one can only assume that the entire floor here lowered. The entire thing. That's not even an edge. That's one of the rails for those guys to move on.
Unless there's some weird kind of floor that's open underneath that you take part of the elevator for to go down to the other floor, which is kind of a safety hazard, perfectly honest. Yeah, see, if there's a Sentinel assembly line here, we're not dealing with Master Mold, so...
Okay, and then see right up here, this little like notch thing? And how right on the left side of these, left side of this notch are these fire things? Just keep that in mind for a minute. Okay, so what's that about Sentinels?
Oh, the Sentinels are basically a mutant hunting giant robot. And they come in a variety of flavors called a butt-fuck ton of them. And their whole point is they hunt down mutants and kill them. Because they're supposed to be the evil bad guys. Because as it turns out, apparently discriminating against mutants is kind of a bad thing.
Okay, so we just lowered down.
Yeah.
So the entire floor lowered down again. And you see, like, okay, the fire things are over here, so that's cool. Oh no, but we hit the end of the fire things, and that little, like, bit that went up isn't here anymore. So where are we? What is this that we're on?
Illogical floor design.
Okay, so who made the Sentinels? What's up with them? Like, who controls the Sentinels?
I think the general consensus is a senator in the U.S. government basically said, hey, mutants are kind of evil. Because they have mutant powers, we can't have them control. Let's make giant robots that can kill them. And they're all like, well, it is for the kids, so let's give him all the funding he needs to make giant killer robots that'll in no way turn on their masters in some form or another.
Yeah, because the government has more than enough money together to put together a giant army of robotic androids specifically for the sake of hunting mutants.
Listen, in the comic book
Not even
universe,
hunting them, just keeping them in line.
In the comic universe, they probably do.
Yeah, that's true.
And so basically they made the Sentinels to be I just love how that happens.
I always miss one!
To basically be a force to hunt down all the mutants they can. Because Magneto's a dick and he just keeps ruining mutant images.
Okay, so we kind of covered the Sentinels, which is going to be a lot of the guys we're beating up over the course of this. I'm playing as Cyclops, mostly because...
Scott Summers.
Yeah, mostly because in playing through video games as a child, you play some X-Men games, even if you're not really like an X-Men guy. And I always played either Cyclops or occasionally Gambit.
Nothing moves the blob.
Except me! Oh, I didn't move him. You
Sit
moved
down,
him.
Tubby.
I know he shoots lasers from his eyes, even though the lasers are technically concussive blasts. So, like, they won't just, like, cleave through something. It's kind of like getting punched in the gut by a...
Yeah, it's like a really bad poof through the chest, really. Like, you're gonna feel it when it happens. And I'm currently playing as Pietro Netolavich Rasputin, also known as Colossus.
We did it. We moved the blob to the floor.
Do not quote me on that middle name. That's a lot of, like, I think it's right. It's like Nieto
That's something on your forehead there,
Leovich.
Professor X.
And basically all he does is he can turn his flesh into living metal. Which somehow makes him 7'5". He's not naturally 7'5". He just grows to 7'5" once he does that.
I don't know, he looked to be about the same size there. Okay, so that's you. Who else is playable? We got Wolverine.
Wolverine, which is duh. We have to explain Wolverine, you haven't been paying attention to anything ever.
Yeah, so I know Wolverine has
But he will be on the cover of this opening bit, just so we can actually have the advertisement for him. Wink, wink. I made a funny joke.
Yeah, so I know Wolverine is his deal is his healing factor and the claws. Don't entirely understand how those two things are connected.
I'm pretty sure the idea is that his claws are because his healing factor is so good that he just naturally grew them or something. But that's me thinking that, so...
Yeah, he's also well known for his adamantium skeleton, but that is not a natural thing. That was
the Weapon X program that surgically implanted that onto his skeleton. As in, they shoved...
That'll teach him.
They shoved a tube of some sort and just basically went like, let's hope this sticks to your skeleton. And it did.
Oh no, he got me.
Because he was the only one to survive the entire procedure.
Because of his healing factor.
Which is why he's known as Weapon X, because he was the 10th person to go through that process. Turns out he was the only one to live through it because his healing factor was that good.
Yeah, so let's see here. We also got him. We have Storm,
who is an Omega level mutant, who is basically the weather goddess of everything ever.
Let's see
who
here.
is strangely considered as U.S. nationality in this, even though she's specifically from Africa.
I'm gonna need you to take that guy up. He's as annoying as crap. Yeah, we did it. Let's see, who else was there? Nightcrawler.
Who is, I think, an Eastern European character who is the son of Magneto and Mystique, who has teleportation powers.
I guess that explains the blue skin.
Yeah.
Don't know why the
Don't know
tail.
why he gets I don't fucking look at me. I think Mystique is supposed to be some kind of demon or something in comic book canons at some point or another. I don't know. Or maybe it's just his mutation and everything.
Yeah, so we got him, he could teleport, and then the last one was Dazzler, which is the one that I didn't even recognize, so I had to look her up.
Which is basically the 80s X-Men.
Yeah, I know Dazzler wanted to be a, like, musician, rock star kind of person, because 90s, 80s. Her mutant ability is...
X-Men, welcome to die.
And there's the line for everyone.
Yeah, her mutant ability is... unimpressively, she can kind of make lights.
Oh my god, it's a Wendigo. We're not even playing a scary game. There's Wendigos all along.
Okay, I'm out of lasers. Oh no, my weird kick didn't work. That's okay, because I have more lasers now. I'll just let you... Nope, never mind, you're out. But I'm dead.
Wendy,
Yeah, I don't care. So guess what? Oh no, I wasted two.
I think Jubilee is supposed to be like the 90s equivalent to Dazzler. I win.
Yeah, thinking about it, Dazzler's was more of a...
Go and rescue Kitty from the cave.
more of an 80s thing.
Yeah.